Hello, hello. I'm Sasha of Sasha Makes Cards, and welcome back to this month's monthly YouTube hop for a cherry on top graphs. The theme for this month's hop is fall inspiration, so I wanted to do something a little different from what I usually do. Since the cherry box has switched to a quarterly subscription, the fall cherry box is the latest cherry box. And I thought, as I had just received this in the mail a couple days before I filmed this, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to go through the box, unbox it, and use the stuff to make a card. So that is what I am doing. If you haven't already seen any unboxings or anything about this quarter's cherry box, everything included in this box was designed by Tim Holtz. So there is a ton of different stuff. There's some Tim Holtz Sizzix, Ideology, Stampers Anonymous, Distress. There is so much in this box to go through. And to help guide you through everything that is in this box, the first thing you will see when you open your box is this fun little pamphlet that gives you some inspiration pictures on the inside as well as a rundown of everything included in the box. Okay, so now let's get on to showing some products. The first product here is the Tim Holtz Ideology vignette panels. Now this pack includes 5 printed wood panels for creating mixed media projects. That's what it says on the back. And these are really so cool. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how I'm gonna use these. I didn't use these for my card today because I really didn't know if it made much sense to place a wooden panel on a A2 size card. Nothing wrong with doing it. It just didn't feel right to me. But I do actually have a project I'm going to be sharing later this month on the Cherry blog that I think will be perfect for using these panels, which, as I am kind of planning it out and thinking about it now, I believe is going to be in almost entirely, if not entirely, Tim Holtz project using some of the new Halloween ideology items from this year. So I think these wood panels will go perfectly for that. This may be a little weird to say, but something else I wanted to put out there is that these smell so nice. They have this really nice, just kind of fresh, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word, but wooden smell. I love it. The next product I'm going to be showing in the box is from Sizzix. It is the Tim Holtz Sizzix Shaping Kit. Now, I've always seen things like this. I've always wanted to try them. I've never had the chance before now, and now I own a whole little set, and I used it for my card that I'm sharing today, and it's so much fun. I can't wait to use it for other things. But this set includes a molding pad, which is this simple black foam pad, as well as 2 stylus tools, both of which are double-ended. The one has a 2mm and 5mm ball on each side, and then the other one has a 10mm and 8mm ball. Now, the other thing included in this little kit within a kit, if you will, is a pair of reverse tweezers. Now, I've been wanting to try reverse tweezers for a while. I will say they've always kind of scared me, and rightfully so, as I don't think I use them very well today. I'm so used to using a regular pair of tweezers that these ones were kind of tricky to use. I couldn't figure out in my mind, I was having a hard time figuring out when to open and close them because when they're closed, you don't I don't even know how to explain it. They're just kind of weird. They are very fun, and I'm gonna have to get the hang of them. But today, as I was trying to use them, I was getting a little messy, especially because I was trying to glue things down. The glue was getting a little messy, and I had to fix something with that. You'll see that later. But it's a trial and error kind of thing. The next thing, which I am so excited that I got to try this, is the new Distress Spritz in the color Barn Door. Now, I believe each kit is a different color of Distress Spritz, so you may get a green, a yellow, an orange, a red, whichever. In my kit, I got the Barn Door. Now we're moving on into the Sizzix dies. So there are 2 sets of Sizzix dies, and then a Sizzix embossing folder, which there is so much in this box. It's so fun. It felt like Christmas. There is the Fall Foliage Sizzix die set, which includes 14 dies, mostly leaves as well as some twigs. There is the Alphanumeric Stretch Lower in Numbers die set, which includes 36 dies. Can really be used anytime, anywhere. You can spell anything you want. It's perfect for all year round. And then there is the wood grain 3D embossing folder, also from Sizzix. Then we have the Cutout Alpha layering stencil from the Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz collection, as well as Blackout cardstock paper pack from Tim Holtz Ideology. Now, this paper pad includes 24 sheets and is made up of craft stock paper. So you have black on one side and then craft paper on the other side. And let me just say, the texture on the black is amazing. I love textured cardstock, and this is a whole pad of black textured cardstock, and I know I'm going to be using it tons. Last but not least, the last item that you will receive in your cherry box is actually a product I've never heard of before the cherry box, which is kind of crazy because it's a Sizzix product and it's really fun. It's sticky grid sheets. So when you're die cutting, you can perfectly line up your letters and die cut a word all nicely and without it being too wonky looking, which is often how it looks like when I die cut. Okay, so now that we've gone through the entire box, we've looked at all of the amazing goodies, I've talked about them, kind of showed a quick little overview of everything. Let's make a card. So, as I mentioned earlier, the theme for this month's hop is fall inspiration. And given that it is October, I am already in full fall mode. I'm waiting for the weather to cool off a bit more so that I can wear sweaters. It's a little too hot right now, and I will overheat. But the weather is very quickly cooling off, and I can't wait to break out my sweaters. I'm very much a sweater weather kind of person. So at least we can get into the mood of sweater weather and fall with a fall themed card. Now, the fun thing about the cherry box is when I receive it, I have no idea what I'm gonna make. And I really didn't know what I was gonna make until almost the very end of the card. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just going for it. And especially with this box, there's some really fun tools and supplies I got to try out, such as the sticky grid sheets, which I'm using here, as well as the shaping kit. I was so excited to use that as well. So I went into it with no plan other than let me just test out the supplies I got. I first started by testing out the sticky grid sheets, which I don't know if I said this. In each pack, you get 5 sticky grid sheets, each measuring 6 inches by 8.5 inches, which they can fit onto a standard Sizzix cutting pad. They can also fit through, and I'm reading this from the back, a Big Shot foldaway, Vagabond 2, the Big Shot, and the Big Shot Plus. Using the letter dies that are included in this box, I wanted to spell out the words Hello Fall and somehow incorporate that onto the card. So I decided to put the word hello onto the sticky grid sheet and then die cut it from a piece of the blackout craft stock. Now, when you're putting it on the sticky grid sheet, you will see me as I'm kind of rearranging them. I place them the wrong way. You have to place them backwards so that the word is the wrong way. It was kind of confusing as I was going to put down the craft stock on top of it. I was thinking, wait a second, if I cut it this way, it's gonna be a backwards hello, and I don't want it to be a backwards hello. So I had to go back in, change around how I was spelling the word. It was a little confusing, but I got there. Although I do want to say it really shouldn't have been confusing because it shows right on the package, right on the front, there's a big picture. Nice big picture that shows you the letters back. So if I guess I had just paid more attention, I would have figured it out. I didn't, so that teaches me a lesson. I then embossed the hello sentiment using the wood grain embossing folder. I then die cut the sentiment fall in the blackout craft stock, as well as some of these small leaves from the fall foliage die set, just using a scrap piece of white cardstock. I then sprayed the leaves with the barn door distress spritz. I kind of sprayed it on in layers just to build up the color. I also decided to spray some black soot distress oxide spray onto the leaves. Now, this isn't included in the box, but I thought it would look nice with the black fall sentiment. Now, the last thing I really did before moving on to gluing everything together was use the shaping kit. Now, I've never used this kind of tool before. I've always wanted to, never used it. So I was just very much winging it, going with the flow, which is basically this entire card. I was just kind of using the stylus tools on the leaves, rolling them about, just to help them kind of look like they were leaves on the ground. Kind of like when you're going for a nice walk in the fall, there's all these beautiful colored leaves on the ground and they're all kind of crumpled and rolling. That's the kind of look I was going for. Now to finish off my card, the card that started unknown and has turned into this, I started by gluing down the sentiments, which I first glued down that hello strip, trimmed off the excess, and then glued, or at least attempted to glue down the false sentiment. This is where my battle with the reverse tweezers begins. I had some troubles using them, as you can probably see. I just can't seem to figure out when to let go of them, and it resulted in a couple of mishaps. The bottom of the F in the word fall, I had a little bit of trouble with, especially, which I decided to use one of the leaves to cover up a little bit of a mistake that I made. It definitely doesn't look like I was struggling as much watching back the footage and even doing this little voiceover now, because I will say I think I cut out most of the struggle. I didn't want it to be too long and too much of me struggling, but just know there was definitely a learning curve with those reverse tweezers that I'm still trying to go through. But anyways, that is the completed card project using this quarter's the fall 2024 cherry box. I had so much fun trying to figure out what I had to do, going through all the things, showing off all the things, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to check out the description below for a complete list of all the design team members partaking in this hop, as well as to hop around for a chance to win a $25 gift card to shop at a Cherry on Top Crafts. Also, I will be sure to leave the links to all the products I use, as well as the cherry box in the description below if you would like to check them out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.